Here's what it's like to be on the cusp of life. It's a Louisiana summer evening, suspended between twilight and night, suspended between 6th and 7th grades. Your hands are touching the shoulder blades of a tall girl who's sitting on the swing in front of you. The swing must have been moving before, but now it is still. You were talking before. You must have been. But now there is silence, not even insects buzzing, empty and full of meaning at the same time. Is the swing part of a swing set in a playground? Sounds logical, but you don't remember. This is an intimate, close-up shot. There is only the swing, held up by the chains she has her hands wrapped around. They stretched forever into the sky. For you, there's only the shoulder blades of a tall girl, the swing, the curve of her neck, tantalizingly close to your lips. Her hair is cut violently short, and she's wearing a scoop neck blouse so that the entire length of her nape is exposed. You feel a kind of sweet, liquid lethargy running like mercury through your marrow. You have no name for it, but you'll recognize it later as languor. You're surer than you've ever been in anything in your life, that she wants you to kiss her neck. You don't dare. She's too tall. A lot of girls that age are taller than boys. They walk like giraffes, stalking the African veldt. They are breathtakingly beautiful in their awkwardness. They're waiting for boys to catch up in oh so many ways. Why did you hold back? God knows. The furthest you've ever gotten with a girl is holding hands at the class picnic on the last day of school. You'd wandered into the trees at the edge of the park. She'd slipped her hand in yours. That was only a month ago. You hadn't even considered kissing her. In the late 60s, at that age, holding hands was practically considered going all the way. You anticipated all that summer, rekindling that brief flame once 7th grade started. When you see her again, the first day of school, she greets 2 of your best friends joyfully. Then she notices you and says, "Oh, you're here too?" And you die. You should have kissed the tall girl's neck. Hegel remarks somewhere that all great world historic facts and personages appear, so to speak, twice. He forgot to add, the first time as tragedy, the second time as farce. Karl Marx. A summer night in Lincoln, Nebraska in the early 80s. The kind of scene that can be called bucolic without a hint of irony. I was with a close friend and his wild child wife, and the 6'1", half-Indian stage manager of the show I was working lights for, The Marriage of Figaro. The stage manager happens to be very female, the absolute queen of tall summer girls. I had vastly more experience with women then, but they were still a book I'd only skimmed. Whether the hill above the reservoir was a simple college hangout or a designated makeout spot was unclear to me. I was sitting close to her, our flanks touching. She wanted me to kiss her, I was sure of that. The midnight breezes were playing Voi ci sapete. I wanted to kiss her. I was desperately trying to work out the logistics. Were my buddy and his wife kissing? I don't remember, and it doesn't matter. A married couple is a different species entirely from two singles on the make. They could have been juggling flaming batons for all I knew. It wouldn't have been out of character. Anyway, I was playing the kiss over and over in my mind, trying to imagine the mechanics of the thing. There was no swing to help me out. Normally, a man will swoop down on the woman, gathering her in his arms. But she was a good 2 inches taller than I was, fed on that sweet Nebraska corn. Even seated as we were, she towered over me. There's no such thing as swooping up in the playbook. If she had lain down in the grass, it might have leveled the playing field. I think I laid back on my elbows a couple of times, but she didn't take the hint. I came away with grass-stained elbows. Surely she was aware of the predicament. A girl as tall as she was must have faced the problem before and conquered Everest, herself being Everest. The only thing for it, as far as I could see, was for her to swoop down on me and gather me in her arms. Some men might have felt emasculated by such a maneuver, but I was game. She did not swoop. Some of my listeners will no doubt say that neither girl wanted a kiss. If they had, they would have found a way, you'll say. I can accept that possibility, but it doesn't change the way I felt at the time, nor the languor that approaches whenever my mind flits like a dragonfly back to those days of tall summer girls. You'd think with my record for tall summer girls, I'd be none too fond of them. I keep approaching the unapproachable. It keeps receding into the distance. But each one I meet still fills me with the crackling hum of anticipation. Anticipation that is meat and drink for the soul. The one companion that accompanies me to the end of time. It's a grace, a benediction. I am eternally grateful.